Hello, everyone. How are you doing? We are live for the Love Goddess live show. Now, this is one time a week. We are going live, and either I talk and interact with you, either I speak with the past clients that we've had and they share their experience, or I invite guest expert to talk on a certain subject. So this is the only time during the week you can catch me live for Love Goddess live show. So I want for you to treat it seriously. I want for you to jump in, say hi to me. I want for you to let me know if you're watching this live or if you are rewatching a recording. And you also can ask me your questions because this is the only time I'm able to answer them for you live. So, today's topic is super important one. Today's topic is how behind one successful woman there is an entire tribe of women who went before her. There is an entire tribe of women, of successful women who paved the way, who showed her the way, who showed her where she needs to be going and where she needs to be moving. Let me go ahead and remove this banner. There we go. Perfect. Um, so Today, we are talking about how behind one successful woman, there is a tribe of other women who went before her, who paved the way. There is another tribe of successful women who showed her the way. Why is this important? And why is this going to be an ongoing subject altogether? It is going to be an ongoing subject for us because there is no other way for you to make progress in your own life if you are not following someone who has been successful, if you don't have examples of other women who went before you, if you don't have examples of other women and their stories are inspiring you. Their stories are inspiring you to become the best version of yourself, whether it's in your relationship, whether it's in your place of work, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your lifestyle, whether it is financially. Those women who went before you are role modeling what's possible for you. Those women are role modeling what's possible for you, for you to be completely and utterly not only just be inspired, not only just be inspired by those women, but also learn from them. Because believe me, each and every woman who went before you or before me had her own share of mistakes. She had her own share of her mistakes that she's done in life. And you too are going to have to go through a lot of mistakes until you are able to embody. You have to experience. There's no shortcut. There is no get rich schemes that are working. If you not building your life from a foundational place, if you are building your life on fake illusions, if you are not building your life on authenticity and your truth and your value and your own set of values that you are following, You are building your life, you're building your house on a fake foundation, on a weak foundation that's going to fall apart one day or another. So, why waste your time building your house on a shitty foundation? Foundation is the key. And so when we are building our life from a place of authenticity, from a place of our deep desires, that and the readiness to take radical responsibility for your life, radical responsibility for your desires, radical responsibility that you no longer available for this kind of treatment or this kind of treatment or this kind of treatment, radical responsibility for the things that don't go right in your life and the things that go well in your life. Radical responsibility for seeing, being obsessed with those minor little good things, being so damn obsessed about the good things in your life. So you forget or stop noticing the multitude of bad things in your life. Most women, that's how they live. That's what they do. They focus on everything that is wrong in their life, everything that not going well in their lives. All women are focusing on all the BS and all the people that betrayed them and all this stuff that did not go right in their lives. But when you become so deeply obsessed about what does go right, why you do what you do, you will continue to show up. You will continue to show up for yourself, for your purpose, for your why. Because if you are like majority of women, you'll be lukewarm about your desires. You would not even know what your desires are. You would be dragging yourself from barely off the bed, not having anything to look forward to when you wake up. And that is by no means a way of a love goddess. That is not how we, beautiful love goddesses, are meant to live our own life. So, in order for you to expand your horizons, in order for you to tap into meaningful life, irresistible life, full of love, sex, prosperity, independence, freedom, lifestyle, travel, adventures, you name it. You deserve nothing less. You deserve nothing less than living your life from a place of a love goddess. So, on today's live show, we are really zooming in how important it is to have mentors in your life, a multitude of mentors. If you at least have one, that's wonderful. Most women don't have any. Most women don't even know why they need to have mentors because they have such lack of clarity to what it is that they're meant to do in life, why they're living life, what's important, and the big purpose that they are here to create and other women to inspire. Right? Each and every one of you came to this earth to make a difference in a feminine rising movement. You came to this earth at this time of radical change where things are shifting and the earth is ascending very quickly into a completely new place, into a completely new vibration, into a completely new dimension. You can either stay in your low vibe 3D world, or you can ascend with the rest of the women that are ready to ascend. Low vibe means that you're focusing on the negative, you're not open. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people that are living on earth right now that are not going to be able to ascend unless they recognize the need, the why they need, right? And then there are women who don't feel like they belong. And there are a lot of those women too. There are a lot of women who don't feel that they belong, that they are living their life from a place of purpose. They feel how much more they are meant to be in this life, how much bigger of a service they are meant to serve in this life, how much bigger of a purpose they are meant to experience in their lives. And those women are finding themselves. Those women are my love goddesses. Those women who have recognized their potential, who recognized how current state of life that they're living in is not serving them. They're my women. They're my women who are joining me on this revolution that I am creating. And it's only gonna snowball from there. And it's only gonna snowball from there. But in order for you to tap into your highest purpose, into your highest vibration of a love goddess, into your such a powerful energy that is your sexual energy, that is your life force energy that you use to manifest and create, you tap into that force of your own power. Sexuality is far from what it's being portrayed. Sexuality is what creates worlds. It's that energy. And why do you think it is a scapegoat in our society and have been? Why do you think women have been prosecuted for centuries for that? Why? Because toxic masculinity is afraid of that feminine power. The reason why I am sharing this with you, the reason why I'm telling this with you right now, is because you are living in the age and the time that you are part of a revolution when we are destroying toxic patriarchal ways of living. Look at us already. We are independent. We have started creating our own lives. Now 40% of women start businesses, where in 2009 it was only 24%. We are standing up for ourselves as women. We're standing up for the quality of lives. We are standing up for, we are claiming to the outside world that the bigger life is possible. And I don't deserve, or I will not choose anything less than that. And a lot of women are going and breaking walls, and they are finally breaking through. But it's a wave. It's a wave. There is a ripple effect that every single one of you is creating in this ocean of ripples that's going to shake up the entire universe. You are creating a ripple effect that is affecting other women and how they see themselves. You're creating a ripple effect and a role modeling for other women to stand up for themselves. You are creating role modeling for other women to look in the mirror and start with loving themselves first. And when women start loving themselves first, they will value themselves more. And they will say, I deserve better. And then they will go and say, no, I'm not willing to settle for a shitty relationship anymore. And I'm not willing to settle for how you're treating me. And I am worth more than that. And you can go, here's the door, bye, because there is a man who is better for me. There is a job that's better for me. There is a friend circle that's better for me. There is life opportunities that's better for me. That what happens when a woman decides to see herself differently from a place of love. She raises her own self-value and she stops settling. She stops settling. The power is behind women. We are living in the age where women are raising up and claiming that power. And maybe there is just me and you and another woman, and there's just few of us. But when we are able to influence other women to stand up to their power, imagine the ripple effect it's going to have on the entire planet. Women would stand up and say, I cannot be treated like that anymore. I will not settle for marrying a dude who is abusive, giving him children who will continue that pattern. Women will stand up for their own self-worth, and they will choose better for themselves, and they will start marrying men who are assholes. How many of those men would be procreated? Not many. But what's even better, the ones that are in existence will hopefully, majority of them will start understanding, holy shit, I cannot act like that. I better raise up to that woman, to that queen, to that love goddess. I better raise up. And I better treat women better. And I better respect them. And I better love them, because we don't need, yes, we do need respect. Yes, we do need respect, but what we really need is love and adoration and admiration, because that is how women operate. They inspire. Men are the ones that do the doing. They are moving the world, creating politics, building the roads, building the buildings. But guess why they're doing it? They're doing it for their women, because women inspiring them to go into the world and make a difference and make it better. Right? And when women stand in their power like that, when women stand in their power like that, the entire universe shifts. Like, United States is a very progressive country. Think about Iran or other women. Wasn't there just a revolution or uprising that was created because a woman did not wear her hijab properly. There is a revolution that this woman created within women in that country. That is how we stand in our power. It starts with the decision to be worthy, to be the one to stand up for yourself first. When you stand up for yourself, you are coming from that place where you inspire other women to stand up for them. You inspire other women to stand up for them. And that is why it is important to have mentors. That is why it is important to have women who have gone before you to be your next level, and then the next level, and then the next level, and then the next level. And when you don't listen to what the society is teaching you, it's teaching you, oh, a spiritual woman who is so aligned with her mission, she cannot be rich, she cannot have the lifestyle. I call bullshit on that. You can have it all, and it's a double blessing. In fact, the more you stand up for yourself, the more you improve lives of other women. The way the universe works, you are being paid for the value that you're bringing into the world. And the more value you are bringing into the world, the more you get paid. That's how it works. If that's a news to you, great. I'm glad to be the one to share that. But the value that you bring to the universe determines the quality of your life too, right? And it's a double blessing, and you can have it all. You can live that irresistible life and doing something so deeply purposeful and meaningful, and you would wake up from every morning you would wake up and see nothing even better for yourself, because you know how much of a difference you're making. You're so damn fired up like that. You're so fired up. So let me share what mentors I've had, and I'll share my story a little bit. Back in 2012, I lost a child, and I was living in such a dread. I was living in what I call, like, I would wake up, go to work, go to second work, come home, I'll be bored. There's just like, and I knew there was like a bigger purpose, but there was no one there back then to show me that there is another way. I knew there was another way. I started searching for that other way. I just didn't know where to go from there. And there weren't really coaches, nor this was in the realm of a possibility for me to even, that there is a coaching industry that exists that can teach me certain ways. I only became aware of the coaching industry altogether, and I wish I knew that earlier. Now, there are a lot of coaches. There's a lot of bad ones and a lot of good ones. So you have to sort through making a decision. When you're making a decision, like, do your own research, right? But back when I started, back when I lost my son and hit my rock bottom, not knowing where to go from there, I knew like I couldn't settle for what it was any longer. I started my rocky path to DIY my own success, which after 3 years of DIYing, I was still deeply, like, way more in debt, actually, 70 grand in debt. I was deeply unhappy, extremely fearful how I'm going to pay for everything. I lived through a terror of how the money is going to show up for me. I had no clients. I had barely, like, I've been in business for 3 years and claimed losses. And each time I would get deeper into credit card debt. And so I had to take radical, and that's why we started this initial conversation about radical responsibility for your life. I had to take radical responsibility for my life and make a decision to no longer settle, no longer be available for shitty life any longer. And when I did make this decision, I realized that, wait a second, there are coaches available. So I started searching because there weren't many back then. And I started searching, and I started in intentionally looking, and I hired my first, actually, two photography coaches that have somewhat started giving me direction on where I need to make changes. Great. I started making slow, small improvements, but I wasn't getting anywhere. And the method that one coach was teaching me wasn't working. So for me, it was working for her because she was great at networking. She could talk on the street with anyone. I'm more introvert. I am more reserved. Like, I can walk on the street and start a conversation. Well, I can. I just don't want to. It's not something that comes easily for me, right? So she was teaching me that method, and it wouldn't work for my personality and my approach, right? So I continued searching, and I found another coach that was a little more aligned with what I energetically was, how I operate, right? And she basically directed me, okay, well, let's start here, here, here. So this is where I took the next step, right? Then I came across community of other coaches, and I got a little bit of needed materials here, there. And so I started picking, but I haven't yet by that time hired someone, I haven't yet. It was a level and a trout, like it's a commitment. Hiring a coach is a commitment. So I wasn't fully committed to hiring a coach, nor one coach has come my path or come my way yet that I said, hey, I could, like, truly sign up with you for a year to be guided. That opportunity came in 2019, and surprisingly, this wasn't a photography coach. This was a transformational coach, and I signed up for her program. While her business advice was rather basic, I did get a lot from her in the way she created her millions from a place of manifestation and expanding my limits and expanding my horizons. And she inspired me on so much, and she inspired me to think bigger for myself, to see bigger numbers, to believe that there is a bigger things that are possible for me. And 2020 came about. I've been with her for 2 years. I renewed each year. 2020 came about, the COVID happened, and she wrapped up the shop after decades of coaching. I was like, well, I'm not ready yet to let this go. This has been wonderful. So I was kind of put in this place of needing another direction. Everything is orchestrated by the universe, as you see. I needed my next level. My next level came about 2 years ago when I came across my current coach, and that's more of a business coach, where now we're setting up proper business procedures. It's a very masculine approach this time, but I also am now in my older coaches community where I'm being inspired with the flow of that you have to, and when you're creating your life, you have to have both energies. You have to have that directional masculine energy, right? You have to have um the structures and procedures and all that masculine stuff, but then you also you must have the spiritual background and foundation. And so what Gina is giving me is the spiritual background and foundation and ongoing inspiration and refilling my container with that inspiration behind why I need to like wake up in the morning and do the work, right? Like, but then Kelly is more of masculine container of like, this is how the proper business procedures are done, and like the proper CEO methods, this is what has proven to work, right? So I have myself being supported on these two levels, both spiritually, both with the proper business structures and procedures to keep me moving forward, because I have made a decision to create my prosperity through and my impact. What motivates me, by the way, is an impact. Every time I sit down, what's my why every morning? It's about making impact, changing lives of as many women as I can, right? And so I connect to that, right? I have to have the why behind before I can even do the doing, right? So, super important. But these are the women that I followed, and I would say I have three more that I also fill myself up with and I follow to on days when I need spiritual guidance, I turn into more of a spirituality coach that I also have. On days when I really need to tap into my spirituality, I have high priestess coach that I go to, right? And we do more of that kind of work. It's more ritualistic and it is more of energy work um, than mental work, if that makes sense. Um, and I only have one business coach because I do not want to overwhelm myself with like everyone's teaching. There's so many different methods and everyone is teaching their way. I picked my one and I turned off everything else. I do believe there are other options, but I do not want to overwhelm myself with other options, right? So I only have one specialist for each department that I am looking for. Like even like my spirituality department is separated into different levels, categories, and methods, right? And I have a coach for that. But your inner work is the most important work that you have to overcome, right? To become the woman who lives her irresistible life, who becomes love goddess in her life, right? And who lives life showing other women what's possible for them, right? So that, my love, is my message for you today. Let me know what you found very interesting, what you found new, any breakthroughs that you've had listening me today. I can't wait to see your comments and see what breakthroughs you had and what inspired you and how I inspired you today. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful Friday, and I will see you next week. Mwah, I love you.